fellow Toastmasters. I will also be the Toastmaster for this event. First, I'd like to introduce our grammarian, Sophia.
She's running a little bit late today.
Okay. Would anybody like to do that? Who wants to step up?
I'll do it if you'd like to.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, exactly.
As your grammarian, I will be monitoring everybody's speech for filler words such as like, possibly like, and but. I will also be monitoring your speeches for your use of the word of the day, which is solution, and it means the means of solving a problem or dealing with a difficult situation.
Thank you. I'd also like to introduce our timer, which who would like to step up for that role today? Tim, I think it's you.
Hello, everybody. As your timer, I'll be timing everybody's speeches, table topics, and evaluations. And for the speech times, they'll be between, I believe, 5 to 6 minutes in length. And on the virtual background, I will be having a green, yellow, and red background to indicate how long it is until your time is up. Green for 5 minutes, and yellow for 6 minutes, and red for 7 minutes. The table topics will be between 1 minute and 2 minutes, I think. And then it'll be green for 1 minute, and then yellow for 1:30, and then red for 2 minutes. And evaluation should be between 2 and 3 minutes long. And I'll be giving my report at the end of the meeting and give everybody their time. Thank you.
You just want to have one speech today? Okay. I'd like to now introduce our evaluator, Isaac, who will be evaluating Hannah's speech.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster. As your evaluator, I will be rating your speech at the end of the session based on how well it was written and how relatable it is. And I would now like to introduce our speaker, Miss Anna, with her speech about birthdays.
Thank you, Isaac, and thank you, our timer team, for volunteer being a timer. And thank you so much for bringing your laptop so we can see the green, yellow, and red on the screen. That's very thoughtful and reminder for everybody else. We always have a role that possibly will not be filled, so be ready to step in. Thank you so very much. All right, birthdays. On Monday, it was my 50th birthday. Yes, I turned 50, a big 50. To be honest, I wasn't thrilled about it. Monday morning when I woke up, my husband came with his always optimistic tone, said, "Happy birthday!" I said, "Who in the wide world would celebrate 50? That's old." And he said, well, without missing the beat, he said, "Well, those who are 60 and 70s do." I rolled my eyes and said, "Okay, Mr. Optimistic." The rest of the day is filled with more celebrations. The well wishes from the office co-workers, and then at the end of the day we had celebration at Ruth Chris State House, which is always good. That night I called my son Matthew. He's my firstborn, and it just happened that he has exact the same birthday as mine. So I called him. He said, "How's your birthday?" I said, "How's your birthday?" And he said, "My roommate threw me a birthday party, a Chinese hot pot birthday party." And I said, "That's really nice. It really touched me because Matthew told me this roommate of his just recently lost his sister to a suicide. She battled with depression for a long time." So I said, is he okay?" And Matthew said, "Well, the fact that he's throwing a party for me proves that he's okay now." All right, fast forward forward to Friday. That was my daughter's 6th-year birthday. So I had 3 birthdays in the same week. On Saturday, we had a birthday party for her at Urban Air. To be honest with you, doing her birthday is one of my most favorite things. I decorate the whole room with the tinsels, the banners, the giant balloons. But the showstopper is the cake I bought from Sweet Nuisance. Imagine this. The pink fairy perched on the top of the cake. The cotton candy-like clouds hover around her. And the pearls, the pink flower petals, delicately decorated around the cake and on the top. And the kids, they're just so amazed. They moved around the cake. And then they start looking at me, daring me to taste the decorations because I said decorations are all eatable. So they said, go eat it. After happy birthday song, and we popped the champagne popper, we cut cake, and they look at me, and I leaned over and took a bite of that cloud. I said, ew, what is this? And they all burst into laughter. They said, it's a pom-poms. And then after that, they chanted, try fairy, try fairy. And I took the fairy, took a bite, and I said, ooh, this is a rubber. They almost fell on the floor laughing. It was a great birthday. And to be a kid that day actually was the highlight of my week. But later, I thought about my birthday and the story told by my son about his roommate, and my daughter's birthday. I cannot help but think life is worth celebrating. It may not always be grand or happy. A lot of times it's just dull, ordinary, or even disappointing. But life is still worth celebrating. And you know what? I think I even found the secret of finding a happiness in life. And that is to serve others. You see, I was grumpy on my 50th birthday because I looked too much on myself. I thought I was getting old, too old. But Matthew's roommate pulled himself out of the grief by shifting his attention to serve others. And I found a joy doing my daughter's birthday. So if you do not center yourself, put yourself into the center of everything, if you do not do that, you may just find your life a lot more enjoyable. So, yeah, here's my cheers to more birthdays and more laughter and more alive to serve others.
Excellent speech, Ms. Anna. Next up, I would like to introduce our table topics master, Mr. Eric Chow.
So as a table topics master, I'll be giving a short question and you're supposed to be answering it on the spot, and it should last for 1 to 2 minutes. So question 1. What's one mistake you made a long time ago that you don't regret now?
I don't regret. The question is, what is one mistake that I made a long time ago that I don't regret now? There are many mistakes that I've made in life, as of all of you, because, what does that guy say? Mistakes is the base of success, something like that. Don't know. And one of the mistakes that I, regretted, but I'm fine with it now, is regretting that I left behind most of my friends in China and came over to the US. And it was kind of traumatizing at first, but I pulled through and I think I'm a better person now. Thank you, Eric, for that question.
What do you think is the most dominant sport?
I think the most dominant sport is probably basketball. I like basketball because you don't have to use your feet a lot, and I really don't like using my feet. It can also help you shoot higher, which I really need to work on. I also like it because I feel like it's just more competitive than soccer and other sports. This is why I think the most dominant sport would probably be basketball.
Keith Seller to school. Lamborghini Countach, like Tony said, Jessica Absolute, or Bugatti Bolide, Isaac.
Well, this is an extremely easy question. Sell the Lamborghini. No, destroy the Lamborghini, keep. No. Destroy the Lamborghini, sell the cars, and keep the Bugatti. Because the Bugatti is a billionaire's car, which I'm sure is something that you would like, considering how much you love your money. And that's about all. It's a really short question, so I don't really have much to add on. Just the fact that Bugattis are billionaires' cars and are superior to all other supercar brands. Thank you.
If you became a bajillionaire like me, what would be the first thing you do? That question would be like,
The question was, if I became a bajillionaire, what would I do? If I became a bajillionaire, well, I have all this money. Why? And because I have so much money, I don't even need to invest it anymore. I'll just probably spend it all on luxuries and spend it all on, and then spend all of it to get a nice house for my family, and then probably live the rest of my life enjoying all the pleasures that money can give me. Because the only solution to having a lot of money is to spend it. And if you have so much money that you don't even need to invest it anymore, spend it. Thank you.
how was trick or treating? What was your favorite candy? Question. Did you go trick or treating? No. Oh, okay. Alright, sorry. Did you go trick or treating? No. Did you go trick or treating? Oh, yeah. Sorry, good. Candy.
Well, I like the pure sugar option. Just grab a whole can of sugar.
What was your favorite candy?
So the question is, how was trick-or-treating and what's my favorite candy I got? Trick-or-treating, I went with a group of friends around their rich neighborhood, and we stopped at a lot of different houses that had king-size Snickers and Reese's, so I'm definitely glad I went. You know. I traded it all away because I don't like anything with peanuts in it, and I don't like M&M's or Skittles, and I ended up with about 50 Hershey's and Kit Kats. But my favorite candy was definitely York's. It's these, minty chocolate patties but there was only one of them, and I couldn't trade any of my friends to get it because I was the only one who had it. So unfortunately, my most favorite candy was the only one that nobody else had. But my favorite candy that I got from trick or treating would definitely be yours.
Yours was there, by the way.
Would you rather step on Legos or stub your toe? Should have been too.
Unfortunately.
The question was, would I rather step on Legos or stub my toe? I would probably rather step on Legos. Maybe an opposite belief to a lot of people, but stubbing your toe hurts a lot. I stubbed my toe on a dumbbell once, and it was purple for a whole week, and it was not fun. Stepping on Legos is just like so. It hurts a little bit. You get a little mark, a little imprint on your foot, and that's like, ouch. You get over it over a while. But if you like start running down a hallway, have a dumbbell there, don't see the dumbbell, just whack your foot on it. Yeah, it's not going away. It still it hurt for a lot, maybe about 1 or 2 weeks. I put a lot of the Chinese medicine on it that my parents gave me. They say this like good for your foot. It'll heal it in like 2 days. It didn't really do much, but it's the thought that counts. But I'd say stubbing my foot hurts a lot more than stepping on Legos. Even if you have a lot more Legos, stepping on it is like kind of better because the surface area, just gonna step on it, it evens out. But stubbing your toe is just like one part of your toe, you hit it really hard, and it's like, yeah, it's really not that great. So I'd say stubbing your toe would be a lot worse than stepping on Legos. Thank you. Oh, that's so hard.
If you became president, what would be the first thing that you do or change?
If I became president, the first thing I would do was do a solution for my financial burdens. I would give it to lobbyists and I would find out what their next big deals are, and then I would shift the laws into my favor and buy their stocks. I call it insider trading since I'm a government official, it's not illegal. But y'all would go to prison for it. That'd be the first thing I would do. Next, I would eliminate taxes on tips and overtime, which may be happening soon, hopefully. I think you deserve your hard-earned money, so if I can get your vote, we'll make it happen. After that, I would end the war in Ukraine. No more wars, and we would not go to World War III. So as your president, that'd be the first thing I would do. Is difficult solutions, the solutions I would get done. And I'm a politician, so you know I'm telling the truth. Thank you, Toastmasters.
So this guy comes over and said, hey, if you don't say that,
We go a different direction.
Where would be your ideal place to live? What's your name?
Sophia.
Oh, Sophie.
What would be my ideal place to live? My ideal place to live would be somewhere like next to the city, like city adjacent. So like crime rates aren't too high or there aren't too many people, rent tends to be lower. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I've been thinking about going to college and what areas, what states I want to go in. So I would like to live kind of like in like a very like enclosed type area. I wouldn't say rural, but I would say like just a very safe environment. House-wise, it would be not too big, small, maybe apartment. I would never want to live in a room. And yeah, just
What's one food you thought you would hate but ended up liking?
Well, the thing is, there are none. My nose is very trustworthy, okay? When I smell a food and I don't like the smell of it, I don't eat it. Because past experience has shown that, when your nose is telling you that something is going to be poisonous, it's instinct. it's how we survived for the past however many years. And evolution has made our nose trustworthy. So no, there is not a lot of food that I can think of at the moment that I have thought I wouldn't like and actually liked. That's my answer.
What's the weirdest food combination that you like? Yeah.
What would be the weirdest food combination that I would like is I have no clue. I'm honestly really scared of eating stuff I don't like, so I would never go out on a ranch and try out new food combinations unless my brother swears up and down to me that it tastes good, like pizza on ranch. I mean ranch on pizza, not the way around. Thank you.
Oh, I got a complicated question. Alright, what's the most random thing in your bucket list?
The most random thing on my bucket list would probably be bungee jumping. I know it kind of sounds weird, but like, who wouldn't want to go like, off a cliff and see like the water turbine come up? Well, I might think it might be scary or whatever, but I at least want to try it once. But another thing that'd be on my bucket list would, have y'all ever seen those videos of like people going on chairs and like getting zip line down a mountain? I feel like that would also be cool too, but like it's fear that like kind of like pushes us not to do it. But I feel like I'd be brave enough to do it.
If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be? Anyone?
I'm actually not really sure because usually much about fictional stuff.
You can pick something up. You don't have to answer that exact question. You can branch out. For example, you can have dinner with somebody. It may not be necessarily a fiction figure, but if you want to have dinner with somebody, who would that be? Think about that. Or you can talk about, okay, I don't want to have dinner with somebody. That I just dislike. You talk about that person also.
Actually, if I want to have a dinner with an actual person, I think it might be Joy from the movie. Recently, there was a season of it coming out. I didn't get to watch it, but I think it's really interesting. Joy, I think she is a very optimistic and a very joyful person, and it's nice to be able to celebrate and during dinner we can talk together. Thank you.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
So the question is, what's the best piece of advice I have ever received? Yeah, I receive good advices all the time, but the a good piece of advice I recently received is do not be harsh on somebody. Yeah, sometimes I realize that I do that all the time. I want to be efficient, I want to be effective, and I push things a little too fast. And I'm a little demanding on the people around me to get things done. And sometimes I feel that. When I feel that, I ask for advice. And the person I always go to for advice is my Mr. Optimistic, my husband. And he always gives me a good advice. So in this particular case, he said, they have a freedom to not do the exact same way as you do things. So do not be harsh on them. And I always have to remember that. One thing is, it's just not right way to do it, but also it relieves me from the pressure, because knowing that I'm doing my best and that's good enough. Nobody else I don't have to push other people, but I'm doing my part. That's just good enough. Thank you for that question.
What's the best fast food place, Isaac?
Now the question is, what is the best fast food place? Now normally I would go to say Chick-fil-A and end it, but because I want to actually make it to a minute, I would say there's only one solution to this, and that is to put it in categories. So I'd say for the best chicken place, I'm not actually going to choose Chick-fil-A, but I'm going to choose Popeyes. Because I feel like not only do you get more food for less, but their chicken sandwich is just superior. And that means a lot comes from Chick-fil-A. And so you just get Popeyes over here. Now, for burgers, I'd say it's hands down either Backyard Burger or Freddy's. Because they don't cheap out on their burgers like some people. And they also don't make their burger out of plastic. Now, I would add a category for, let's say, like Mexican food, but I only know one Mexican fast food place, and that's Taco Bell. And it's a hit or miss depending on which location you go to. Some of them will feed you literal plastic, others will actually cook their food. So, I guess Taco Bell takes me that category. And those are my list for the best fast food. Now, I feel like overall, best fast food place in general would probably be Hardee's, because not only do they have chicken, burgers, shakes, they also do it all around better than most people. Now, I wouldn't say that burgers are better than, Freddy's or Backyard Burger, but they can actually do it fast, and all their food is all around good. So thank you for that.
Next up, I'd like to bring up our evaluator, Toastmaster Isaac Jefferson.
Thank you for that, Toastmaster Jason. Now, I'd first like to start by saying happy birthday to everybody in your family, you included, and you do not look anything close to 50. Honestly, it was news to me, I'm sure it was news to all of us. And I would like to say that your speech was very well written, and I could tell that you prepared and used personal experiences to draft it off of. I also felt like you included a really good message that not just for the people in this room, but all people around the world should take into account in their lives. That life is worth celebrating, and even if stuff goes wrong, there's no reason for you to not celebrate other people's accomplishments or upbringings. And I felt like that's a message that not much people are getting to know. So I really appreciate you putting that message in there. And I do feel like you do stutter sometimes. It doesn't happen often, but you can stutter and pause sometimes in betweens, which is fine, because I'm not saying to do it excessively, but that's just something that you can polish on and to really perfect your speech. But overall, I felt like it was a really well-written speech. You prepared for it and you executed it perfectly. I would also like to give my condolences to your son's roommate, because that is a very tragic event. But thank you for that. It was a really, really good speech. I really liked it.
Thank you, Alan. Next up, I'd like to bring up Toastmaster Tim Jew for the Towers Report.
Okay, to start off with all our times, we'll go with Luciana's speech. We came in at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which was a really good time to get for the speeches. And then we had our extended table topic session from, to start off, we had Urban, you had 58 seconds. Next up, we had Yana, you had 55 seconds. Then we had Isaac, we had 30 seconds for that one short question. And then next up, we had Kate with 45 seconds. Then Kennedy with really close, 58 seconds. And then I had myself, I believe I had 1 minute, 12 seconds, maybe lower a little bit, minus 5 seconds or so. And then we had Mr. Pendergrass, who had 47 seconds. Then we had Sophia with 50 seconds. And we had Hannah next with 38 seconds. And then Mia with 40 seconds, Velastia with 34 seconds. And Amira, we had 1 minute, 20 seconds, so good job. And then next up, we had Miss Anna again for 1 minute, 48 seconds. And then lastly, we had Isaac with also 1 minute, 45 seconds. So really good job for them. And then next up, lastly we have our evaluation with Isaac. He came in at 1 minute and 31 seconds. And that's all for my time.
Yeah. Next up, I'd like to bring up Toastmaster Tim Jew for the prepared report.
Thanks to Toastmaster Jason. Miss Anna, for your first speech, you had 0 filler words and 0 uses of the word of the day. Irvin, for your Toastmaster speech. Table topic speech.
I did previous.
You had 0 filler words and 0 uses of the word of the day. Diana, you had 0 filler words and 0 uses of the word of the day. Isaac, for your first speech, you had 0 filler words and 0 uses of the word of the day. Kate, for your speech, you had 0 filler words and 0 uses of the word of the day. Kennedy, for your speech, you had 3 and 0 uses of the word of the day. Tim, for your speech, you had 0 filler words and 0 uses of the day. Mr. Jason, for your speech, you had 0 filler words and 1 use of the word of the day. Sophia, is that your name? For your speech, you had 7 filler words and 0 use of the word of the day. Hannah, you had 1 filler word and 0 use of the word of the day. Mia, you had 0 filler words and 0 use of the word of the day. I didn't really catch your name. So,
Velastia.
you had 4 filler words and 0 use of the word of the day. Amira, you had 4 filler words and 0 use of the word of the day. Miss Anna, for your tabletop speech, you had 0 filler words and 0 use of the word of the day. And Isaac, for your second speech, you had 0 filler words and 0 use of the word of the day. Okay, sorry, you had 1 use of the word of the day.
Everyone did catch it. Thank you, Toastmaster Tim Jew. Who's the general evaluator? Do you have?
That's Amira.
Amira, okay. Next, I'd like to bring up Amira for the general evaluation.
Actually, Amira is supposed to bring the evaluator, the grammarist report,
Oh.
and the time zone report, but hey, we're all good.
I got you.
Because she got to observe how it's done.
Okay,
So
perfect.
that's best. You can just evaluate me.
The meeting is overall good. Miss Anna had a really good speech, and Isaac had a really good evaluation for that. And I think the table topics were overall good. And all of the words, and
That concludes today's meeting. I guess we'll look for signing up for next week's.
Yes, yes,
program.
we'll do that.